Assalamu alaikum, my name is Zera Karashayski-Mustafaeva.
My name is Zarema Karashayski-Mustafaeva.
We are Crimean Tatars.
We speak on behalf of a nation that has never stopped existing. Our roots on this land reach back 3 millennia from Bronze Age. We built civilization here, we governed here. This is our ancestral homeland, legally, historically, and by every standard of international law.
We are visiting scholars at the Brian Lamb School of Communication, Perդью University. We built the legal and academic foundation for strengthening the subjecthood of our nation, Crimean Tatar, under international law.
Our scholarship operates at the intersection of international law, cognitive warfare, and genocide studies. We analyze genocide under Article 2 of the 1948 Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. We study how perpetrators weaponize language, how words become instruments of destruction.
Before the first raider crosses a border, we examine the doctrine of state continuity under international law
And what it is mean for the legal status of occupied territories. We research what NATO defines as the fifth domain of warfare, the cognitive battlefield, where narrative are deployed as weapons, where sovereign is targeted, and where the international community consistently arrives too late.
This is not theoretical research. This is the living experience of the Crimean Tatar nation, now documented, analyzed, and presented before international institutions. Our monographs are catalogued at the Library of Congress. Our research is presented at the United Nations in New York as voices the international community is obligated to hear. We are the founding presidents of the Crimean Tatar Academy of Arts and Sciences because knowledge is sovereignty.
We are the co-founders of Crimean Tatar Foundation USA, applicants for consultative status at the United Nations Economic and Social Council. Our nation holds the primary rights to participate in every decision concerning its future.
Crimean Tatars carry 3,000 years of continuous autochthonous rootedness on this land. As Tімоті Снайдера of Yale University states,
The history of the Crimean Peninsula includes the history of a state, the Crimean Khanate state, 6 centuries of sovereignty. It existed longer than the United States has existed today. Moscow paid tribute to Crimean Tatars for 3 centuries. The history is deep and it is real.
this history produced knowledge that no institution can manufacture and no occupiers has ever been able to destroy.
Knowledge built through direct encounter with empire, its logic, its methods, its language, its endgame. Crimean Tatar have survived 3 Russian regimes, multiple waves of genocides on their ancestral land. We know, with the precision no think tank can replicate, how an occupying regime thinks and operates. We possess the knowledge of how to survive occupation, aggression, and genocides. This is the knowledge capable of preventing the next genocide, the next occupation, the next moment when it becomes too late.
The United Nations documents that 2 autochthonous languages disappear every month.
90% of world's languages are projected to disappear within 100 years. The nations that faced the Russian imperial machine did not fear better. The Uzbeks of the Caucasus gone. The Sadji gone. The Yugh people of Siberia, 1 person remained. The Kyrgyz, 4 persons. Over 131 autochthonous languages on Russian-controlled territory are documented by UNESCO as endangered or extinct. Crimean Tatars are here.
Crimean Tatars have paid the highest price for this experience and this knowledge. This channel is called Crimea Speaks because the history and narrative of Crimean Tatar belongs to Crimean Tatars. Because the autochthonous rights of Crimean Tatars defended by Crimean Tatars. Because the future of Crimea is decided by Crimean Tatars.
We do this because our nation are waiting in Crimea under unlawful Russian occupation right now.
On this channel we speak about what is happening to Crimean Tatars with data, with facts, without compromise, about law, about history, about the future of Crimea.
If you are a Crimean Tatar, whether you are in Crimea, in Ukraine, in Turkey, in Europe, or in America, this channel is for you.
Your nation is building its future right now. As a lawyer, as a scholar, a journalist, an artist, an engineer, a teacher, a doctor, a parent, your profession, your knowledge, your voice is needed. Nations are not built by governments alone. They are built by every person who decides to show up. Your nation needs you now.
If you are at the United Nations, in European Parliament, in NATO, in governments and institutions that signed the 1948 Genocide Convention, the UN Charter, and the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, this channel is not a request for your attention. It's a documentation of your obligations. The Crimean Tatar case is not a regional dispute. It's a test of whether international law means anything at all, and who bears responsibility when it does not.
We are on the record. So are you. Subscribe, share, engage.
Крим serbest olacak. Crimea will be free.